Alrighty guys, as you keep reason this Mobile Legends ToP walkthrough, or no, not the walkthrough, this is the guide video. This is for season 106. So last season we did end off at rank 3010, which is actually pretty damn solid, I would say. I think we did good. I think the Golden Frieza did great, and you're actually going to see Golden Frieza become a core unit on a lot of the teams that he can be featured on. And this video was created before the anniversary. I know it's coming out after the anniversary had already started, so I haven't summoned yet. I haven't gotten any of the new characters yet. I haven't included any of the new characters into the guides, so you're gonna have to just give me a little bit more time on that before we add them to the graphics, to the new teams, all that good stuff, right? And before we continue, as always, huge shout out to doomgeta, Aflag, GMC, Ty, everyone that's in the Discord server. Fuck, they all help out tremendously with these, right? These videos wouldn't be here without them, or not that's necessarily they wouldn't be here without them, but they would be significantly worse off without them, right? So if you want to show them some support, I have two Discords linked in the description down below. One of them is personally owned and managed by doomgeta himself, and then the other one is the official Dragon Ball Legends Discord, where you can get help for TOP in both. And always remember, there will be timestamps in the description down below. That way you guys can go ahead and get to where you need to go. And also something that I didn't mention last season is you want to get your friendship rank up. So we have Garlic Jr. right here, friendship rank 11. You want it at 10. That's where it caps out at, is at 10. I don't know why I got it up to 11, but so this is the regular stats, right? And then, or no, this is the TOP stats, and then this is the regular stats, and then we'll put them up side by side so you can kind of see, compare and contrast, right? So it's important to do your Let's Fight events every day, right? Daily. And then the first thing we're going to be taking a look at is our pathing right here. So part 1, part 2, left and right hand side, you're going to see the images up on the screen right here. Part 1, there's 2 difficult fights, and then part 2, there's 3 difficult fights. So part 1's always easier because that's where you can just use your best units. Part 2 can be a little bit more trickier for some, especially since you have to kind of like manage bringing in your high tier units. Speaking of those high tier units, we just talked about friendship rank. I would probably suggest, just as a friendly bit of advice, get your friendship rank up on your high tiers, because those are the units you want to strive the most out of all your units, right? Because some of your OP units, they might be sidelined for the part 2, right? So you can make room for those high tier units. And this is color coded for you guys, so you guys know exactly when to bring out those high tiers, right? So as soon as the pathing hits orange, that's when you start bringing out your Z's and your S tiers, and then it goes into purple and then into red, just to showcase how much more of a significant boost you're going to be getting from that point on. And so this time around, we do have the color wheel for you guys. So you're going to see a total of 3 threatening reds across the difficult fights that we have listed, 4 threatening purples, 4 threatening yellows, 3 threatening greens, and 7 threatening blues. So you're definitely going to want to have a nice, strong, reliable green unit on your team for this season, and definitely don't overload your team with red units. And then inversely, we have the cover change predictions right here, right? So strike, there is 8 strike cover changes, and 4 arts nullification for strike, so a total of 12. And then for blast, there's 7 cover changes and 2 arts nullifications, so a total of 9. So 12 compared to the 9, honestly, it's not that big of a difference. Strike or blast, either one's going to work here. It's just you have to play the game a little bit differently, right? So pay attention to those units that are going to be able to cover change against your strikes or your blasts or nullifications. In terms of universal, though, there's 0. And so now let's take a look at some of these fights that you're going to encounter, highlight some of the ones that you might want to know in advance. So for this one, for example, this is not a hard fight at all, right? But there's 2 stunners here. So that is something that you do want to keep in mind, right? So the Frost is going to stun you on turn 2, so if you want to get him out before that happens, and then the Champa is also going to stun you on turn 2. And then next you do have this fight. So this one, this is one of those fights where you're going to play it a little bit differently depending on if you have a strike based team or a blast based team, right? Because the first unit I'm going to go ahead and kind of like the alarms going off in my head here is the full power Frieza, because he nullifies with blast arts and then gets 100% generated to his blue card gauge. So if your team is blast based, you're going to have to switch everyone over to strike, or you're going to have to attack him first, right? Which is usually what I do. If I switch everyone over to strike from a blast team, you're going to lose that damage, right? So just take him out first. He has a low-key restore speed, so even if he does mitigate that first blast, you're going to be able to mow through him. But if you're a strike team, he's only a mid-priority unit. If you're a strike team, you're going to go for the Golden Frieza and the free-to-play pod Frieza first. And then, of course, you do have Revival Frieza here. That is going to be your last targeted unit. So next we do have, I don't know what to call this fight, but the yellow Pycon always trips me up personally. So I just want to talk about him just really quickly. So Pycon will stun 1 unit on turn 1 and debuff your top row, which will be highlighted on the screen for you, if you have a movies plus powerful opponent unit. The team we're going to be running this season, we're running powerful opponent, so we have to be aware of this, you know what I mean? Next, we do have the Hera clan, so high priority, of course, is going to be that purple Bojack. He blue cards you on turn 2, but he's really slow, so you have all of turn 1 and basically all of turn 2 to kill him before that happens. Bujin, on the other hand, stuns a unit on turn 2, so if you want to take him out first and then go for the purple Bojack, that's usually my go-to. Alright, so this is your first hard fight that you come across. I'm going to tell you guys right now, pretty much everyone here is going to be highlighted. Literally everyone should have the red circle on them, except for that purple Vegito in the left-hand corner, the bottom left-hand corner right there. The Ultra Super Vegito, yellow, he has a blast base counter. And then the red Vegito, he has a strike mitigation, right? So he nullifies it, debuffs you. They both do debuffs, right? And then the fusing one, obviously they fuse on turn 3. You want to get him out before that. This guy has the chance to double attack, plus he has a blast base cover change for someone usually, and then this guy has a strike base cover change for someone usually. So this is going to be a very hard fight for sure. You definitely have to just think about your approach to this. I'll put up on the screen the wall of text that is essentially the guide for this fight for you guys, just in case you want to screenshot that and have that for later. It's also going to be shown in the Pocket Edition walkthrough whenever we do encounter it. So this one's pretty easy right here. So high priority is just I would say the Whis is going to be the most notable unit. He stuns a unit on turn 2, so just kill him in turn 1 so he doesn't even get that off. And then immediately right after that, you go for the Awakened Piccolo, right? The Ultimate Piccolo, whatever you want to call him. But next we do have LOE. So again, Frost, we already kind of like talked about him a little bit earlier. He stuns on turn 2. Just kill him before he does that. So turn 1, just get him out of the way. And then LF Cooler, definitely going to be a high priority here. And then your 6th slot is going to be the Revival Frieza, just because of the revival aspect. Another thing that I don't necessarily think I need to highlight this unit, but this red Frieza over here is going to stun one of your units on turn 1. There's not really much you can do about that unless you have someone that can cancel abnormal conditions, such as Garlic Jr., I believe LF17. MVP 17 does it as well. And so for this fight, again, I don't think you're going to have a lot of trouble on this fight, but LF Cooler, of course, is going to be high priority. Free to play Cooler is going to be high priority, and then Thousands is going to be mid priority. So those are the quote unquote big 3 for this fight. After that should be super duper easy. Just keep in mind, this purple Cooler is going to be your 6th slot unit because he does buff all of his Sagas from the movies allies when he gets hit. All right, so we have this fight right here. So honestly, I would say the most notable unit is going to be this Gogeta. On turn 3, he's going to stun you / super attack you. You have a good amount of time to get him before that ends up happening, right? So just kill him. Just kill him. And then obviously the Super Vegeta is going to be a high priority. And I would say this guy also is going to be in the like mid priority range just because of the potential for a strike cover. Next, we do have the Bardock squad. So honestly, screw all the units right here, bro. Like screw all the units. I mean, yes, like this guy, you're going to want to get him out of the way. Fasha is going to stun one of your units on a Blast Arts hit. Yes, we already understand that. These units aren't new to us. A lot of you guys might make the mistake of super attacking the Goku and Bardock units. This guy is going to be the one unit I want you to know their kits. To take away from this right here is that if you super attack them, they will get 100% to their special move gauge, okay? Do you guys understand that? So if you super attack them, you better make sure that it kills, that you have multiple units that can ensure that kill, right, that are going to attack before the Goku and Bardock, because they will clap back, bro. They will clap back. It will hurt. Doomgeta's faced it. Ty's faced it. Like, they're adding more and more. Like, to our own members, bro, this unit is coming in like the Grim Reaper. And Affleck is getting pissed, bro. Affleck, whenever someone gets hit by this, I swear to God, Affleck pops a blood vessel. Do not get hit by a super attack. So next you have this androids fight, and there's pretty good units on here, if I'm being real honest with you. The only unit that you probably are like, forget about him, is this EX android up here. But even he has a blast, as an EX unit, I know it's annoying. He has a blast cover change, and it's to the square to the left of him or to the right of him. So that very may well be the case that he's protecting someone here, right? So of course, tag droids are going to be high priority. I would also say that this guy is going to be high priority too, or at least mid priority. He'll super attack you on turn 3. Again, you don't want to take super attacks, right? So definitely get him out of the way before then. So, and then the Aider has death buffs for everyone, so he's probably honestly going to get taken out last. That's going to be annoying. Or at least 5th, right? At least 5th, and then you'll go for this guy. And then this guy's getting stronger every single turn. He's providing support for his team. He's getting like 50% to his special move gauge on turn 4. And then this guy's debuffing your middle row. It's just a strong unit, right? It's a strong team. It's only 3/5 difficulty, so hopefully they just go down easily. All right, so now we have Regeneration. Again, bro, it's just like all of these units are annoying in some way, shape, or form. I think the only consistency here is that the Mod Jr., aka the Piccolo Jr., gets taken out last. So DKP, the green DKP, he's debuffing your team's damage received on turn 2. Garlic Jr. transforms on turn 3, gets a guaranteed double attack because he double strikes you. Janemba debuffs your team's damage inflicted for 2 turns, has a strike counter, it usually has a blast cover change for someone. Ultra Kid Buu is debuffing your team's damage received, has a strike cover potentially, and then the Cell has a blast cover for someone potentially, right? It's just a massive just shit show for this team, right? It's not as bad as I'm making it seem. There's just a lot in it kit-wise, right? Kit-wise, it's a lot. And then you have this event exclusive fight. So again, I don't think you guys are gonna have a difficult time with this, but high priority Raditz, right? Turn 1 blue card. He's pretty slow, but definitely you don't want to get blue carded, right? And then again, the green DKP is debuffing your team's blast damage received, and then you have the Broly, also the base Broly, also debuffing your team's damage received, your blast damage received. So those definitely are easily the top big 3 that you want to go ahead and get out of the way as soon as possible. And before we move on to our top teams, this is the legend/key for the icons for the following graphics, right? So if you're confused on any of the graphics, what some icons may mean, maybe the star, pink star, red star, you're like, what does it mean? The blue arrow, red arrow? What does it all mean? This is where you'll go to, basically. Just reference this. And so the first thing we're going to be talking about is the team we're going to be using for this season. Finally going to be using powerful opponents. I'm gonna be real honest with you guys, my key restore speed isn't that great for this team. There's a lot of units I still have to work on. If you have better friendship rank, that's going to be amazing, right? You can see some of the regeneration characters are at 10. Typically I have decent friendship rank with the regeneration characters already, since we used to main purely regeneration, so these guys are good. If I'm going to focus on anyone for friendship rank, honestly, it's going to be these guys, the high tiers, right? And so speaking of high tiers, our Z tier is going to be this purple Bojack. He is a guaranteed super attacker on turn 2. He is a really slow unit, though. That's the only thing. The best replacement for him would be that red Frieza. That red Frieza is going to be the better unit. That's why he's actually on the main graphic, whereas I don't have him at all. So we're going to use the Bojack right here. There's also a couple other options for your Z tier, right? Like that transforming, or not the transforming, but the second form Frieza. We've used him in the past. That blue Frieza, I've never used him before, but I didn't want to have double blues for my backup units, right? Because I have this guy. This guy's going to be one of our units too. He's going to give 36% to tag future and powerful opponents. They need to be both of those, I'm pretty sure. They had to be future / powerful opponent. Thankfully, a lot of the units on here are just that. We have this guy, that's that, this guy, and then Rose. So it's going to work out just fine. We have one core unit here, which is going to be this Broly for the max base HP. This guy has support. This guy's forming super attack really fast. This guy's also really strong against Saiyan/hybrid Saiyan, farming that super attack. Transforming Garlic Jr. going to also prevent us from getting stunned for those 4 highlighted tiles that you see. And then of course our turn 1 super attack with Ultra Rose. So now let's talk Sagas from the movie. So you have one core unit, which is going to be the Master Roshi HPZ ability buffer, and then for your high tiers you have Z tier Bardock and then S tier Red Turles. There is a good chunk of units that can be replaced, right? Like the Bardock, for example. You have the Yellow Metal Cooler Z tier. Bujin's actually a pretty good unit. That green Bojack, actually, I kind of want to get his friendship rank up. Even though he's like super duper old, he probably should get his Zenkai at this point in time. But his kit actually doesn't seem bad. He's giving full board support and stuff like that, right? And then on the main team, you have the blue Gohan right there, who has fantastic abilities against PO. You have the Path Goku, you have the Tag Gammas, you have the Go Pickle, is that what you guys are calling him? And then you have Pikkon. So Pikkon is a revival unit and he's debuffing, right? So he's one of your debuffers. He plays a pivotal role on the team. Next, we do have Sagas, but the strike-based version. So this one might look a little weird to you. You guys might look at this and be like, this is Sagas? So obviously let's talk about the elephant in the room first. So the purple Taunthan is going to be on Sagas due to his better Z ability, right? There's a lot of hybrids here and stuff like that, so he's going to be I'm pretty sure doomgeta said he's going to find a replacement by next season, so he's not going to have a permanent spot right here, because I believe last season instead of the Taunthan we did have the blue boys, right? The blue Goku and blue Vegeta tag unit from the Broly movie, but this Gohan, his Z ability is just better suited for the team. But anyways, core unit, we do have Pan HP Z ability buffer. Z tier, you have that Gohan up there. Very hard unit to have, right? It's hard to obtain him. And then you have the S tier Trunks unit. That Trunks is actually really, really good for Saga's hybrids, because his Z ability is just super duper good. Really strong. And then of course on the main team you have God Goku turn 1 super attack. What's not to like about that? You have both of the Beast Gohans, fantastic. You have Fat Tank support, and then now you have the Ultra Gohan. So now we have GT. So this is the blast base GT right here, which is probably going to be the best option for you if you guys are GT mains. So core unit is going to be that Super Baby 2, never going anywhere. Z tier, you have the green Trunks. I don't have that guy, but at least there's a couple Z tier replacements, right? You have that baby, that blue baby. We've used him before. He's all right. That purple 17 though does scare me. I would be scared to use him. And then you have the S tier Omega Shenron over there. That guy, actually, I hear a lot of good things about him, right? Because I'm pretty sure Green Ruff actually uses him for his regeneration team, and he has nothing to say but good things about that man too. As for the rest of the team, you have Parasite Trunks, fantastic unit. You have Rage Shenron, who actually has the Taunthan mechanic, but it's only going to start like at turn 2, right? Because there has to be 5 enemies or less remaining, and so obviously they start out with 6. You're not going to be able to proc that right off rip. You have the purple 17 for debuffs, Majin on there. You have 17 for just absolute carnage. 17 is going to be the main source of damage essentially. The red one, that is. And then especially if you're targeting a yellow unit, he has a 50% chance to double attack, which is pretty strong. Next we do have the strike base version. So you look at the boost units on this team, by the way. There's 2 S tier replacements, and you're running 3 S tiers on the main team. It's kind of cooked if you're running a strike base GT, right? It's doable, 100% doable, but it's a little cooked. You have the core unit baby. Again, not going anywhere. And then S tier, you have the Nova down there. He has a bubble shield mechanic, so he's immune to 1 strike or blast arts. You have the S tier Oob, and then you have the S tier Shenron that's going to provide board-wide support. That red Omega Shenron Ox also has a stun ability, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so on a strike or blast arts, he inflicts can't attack for 1 turn. So you are getting some value out of him. The Pan is just a good unit. You have both of the Gogetas, which are great units too. Next we have Saiyan. So this is the blast-based version right here. So core unit, none. Don't have to worry about a core unit here. For your Z tier, you have that purple Bardock, and then S tier red Turles. And then you, of course, Saiyans is just one of those tags where there's so many units, you're bound to have replacements. So you do have a couple Z tier replacements, but definitely way more in the S tier region, right? Including that Majin Vegeta. Majin Vegeta is in S tier, that Zenkai one, the red one. So doomgeta actually asked me to start including him in here. But as for the main team, you have the tag Goku Piccolo, you have the tag Vegeta Trunks, you have the tag Buu Duo with the Transcendent Kamehameha on turn 4 cleanup crew, and then you have the healer Angel Vegeta, you have the Revival Nappa, and then you also have this Pycon right here. So heavy emphasis on the debuffs from this guy. So at the start of the first turn, you immediately pop your green card. You get 10% to special move gauge. A lot of special move gauge throughout the kit, by the way. So you're going to be farming that pretty quickly. And then you're also inflicting the enemies with 15% to damage received for 2 turns, minus 15% to key recovery for 2 turns, minus 10% to crit rate for 2 turns. Definitely significant stuff. And then next we have the Strike Saiyans, right? So again, no core unit here, but you do have 3 S tiers. One of the S tiers is that blue Nappa though, and that dude is just goated. He's debuffing the enemy team. He's one of your debuffers here. Then you have your S tier purple Vegeta. That dude is just an absolute tank, and his healing potential is insane too. Turles, also amazing healing potential as well. Plus, I'm pretty sure he's a debuffer too. And then on the main roster, God Goku, just amazing unit, turn 1 blue card. You have the blue Diamond Goku. Again, he's like a watered down blue beast Gohan, right? No issue there with him. You have the tag unit, you have the Zenkai Gogeta up there, and then you also have the Diamond Goku. This is actually someone that, this is the first time I think we were seeing him on the main team. I think one of the best things about this guy though is that his Q restore speed is insane. So this is at friendship rank 1, Q restore speed 2500, and then over here he's getting 15% there. I'm thinking he's getting a couple more otherwhere in other places as well, but he's just a very fast guy. He has a lot of like damage inflicted buffs throughout his kit, specifically for strike damage, so he should just be molly-whopping the shit out of everyone. Next, we do have Majin Buu Saga. So you have, honestly, I don't think this team changed at all from last season. So core unit still Pui, right? That dude is your max HP Z ability. Then you have your S tier TN, you have your Z tier Red Deborah, and then main team you have the Buu tanks, or not Buu tanks, the Buuhan. You have Buuhan, you have this Go tanks, you have Super Saiyan 3 Goku for support, you have the Buu Duo for the Transcendent Kamehameha on turn 4, and then you have the Hercule and Majin Buu unit. It's important to note that if you don't have that Hercule and Majin Buu unit, the closest one-on-one replacement for that unit is going to be the Free-to-Play 18. Just know that the Hercule Buu unit is a better option than the free-to-play 18. So next we do have the hybrids. So core unit is going to be Pan, HP Z ability buffer, Z tier the green Trunks, S tier the blue Trunks. That's a free-to-play unit at the very least, right? And even if you don't have that green Trunks, you can easily just slide on that purple Gohan. We've used him before. He did absolutely fine. You're not gonna have any issue there, even though there's like such a critical lack of boost unit replacements here. It's all good. For the main team, you have the Taunthan, you have the blue Gohan over the beast Gohan, right? Just because that blue Gohan is just better suited for the blast based team. You have this ultra Gohan, beast Gohan right here. He's getting a super attack essentially every single fight. I don't think there's ever been a fight where I didn't super attack with this guy, or at least have the super attack ready immediately for the next fight, right? Because he's getting it like at turn 4 at least. And then you have double tag units here with the Grunks and then the Vegeta Trunks. And then next you have the strike-based version. I actually was going, I think doomgeta is going to be thrown for a loop here because we discussed it, and I was actually going to run this team right here. But then I was like, wait a minute, I can run Powerful Opponent, and I've been wanting to run Powerful Opponent, so this is what we're doing instead of this team. But this team has the Pan, boost unit, or not boost unit, main unit, core unit, HPZ ability buffer unit, and then for your Z tier, you do have that blue Gohan. See, I don't have that blue Gohan, and what I was going to do is I was just going to go ahead and throw him off and use the purple Kid Gohan instead. And then your S tier Super Trunks over there. Then main team, you have double beast Gohans, you have the Fat Gotenk support, and then you have the Goku Vegeta unit up there, right? So for this team, he's better suited on this team, right? And then, but Taunthan was better suited for the Sagas team specifically. So I know it's a little bit confusing there, right? It's a little bit backwards, but it makes sense. Trust me, it makes sense. And then of course you have the Zenkai Green Trunks up there, which is just a phenomenal unit. So next we do have LOE. So you can see there's 3 core units on LOE now. So you guys might be thinking, hold up, bro, like, this is kind of ass. Like, why do we got 3 core units on LOE? Listen, bro. Listen, I get it, but it's a free-to-play unit. You guys should have them, so it's like, I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference in terms of, like, hurting your guys' pockets or whatever, you know what I mean? So you have 3 core units. So Chilled, HPZ ability buffer. You have Revza, who's going to act as support / a pseudo-healer. And then you have the green Frieza. This guy is going to be healing and supporting as well. And his support is in the form of debuffing the enemy team, as you can see right here. Nonetheless, he's just a fantastic unit. He's super fast. He's actually faster than the yellow Frieza, which is insane because that yellow Frieza has a lot of Q restore speed. And then for your boost units, you do have the Z tier red Frieza. A lot of you guys might not have them. It's all good. You can just go ahead and swap them out with one of those guys down there. And then a Z tier yellow metal cooler. Again, there's options for you guys. There's a ton of S tiers, and then both of those. I've never used that blue Podza, so don't take my word on that, but that yellow second form Frieza is definitely usable. On the first, or as for the rest of the team though, you have the double stuns with the red Frieza and then the green cooler, And then, of course, you have the Golden Frieza for your turn 1 super attack. Golden Frieza, Golden Tile, upgrade your special move into the ultimate arts, and then inflict debuffs onto the enemy team. Same thing is going to be said right here. Right off rip, Golden Frieza, Golden Tile, right? Just keep them together. Make sure that the Golden Frieza is on the yellow tile, on the golden tile, however you want to remember it. Upgrade your special move arts with that Frieza, no matter what. Core units here, though, for Frieza Force is going to be the Naval, and it's going to be this Green Frieza right here. So Green Frieza over Revival Frieza, right? So when it comes down to it, if you're picking between the two, the Green Frieza, Green Angel Frieza, the new one, that core unit one right there is going to be used over the Revival Frieza. So that's exactly what's going on right here. You have that unit, and then you have the Naval up there for the support / pseudo heals. You have 3 S tiers on board right here with the Monray, Naval, and then with the Apul. Apul has support for the team. And then for the main team, you have of course, the Golden Frieza, right? Golden Frieza, Golden Tile, the yellow. And then you have the stun with the red Frieza, stun with the LF Frieza, and then debuffs with the blue base roll. And then look at this man on a generational run. Unireps, look where he's at. He's here too. He's here too, bro. So core unit, you have 2 core units on here now. So he is replacing Kale indefinitely at this point, I believe now, right? Since he's healing all your allies instead of Kale just healing a specific range. So you do have that Golden Frieza. You do have the Bergamo for your HPZ ability buffer, and then for your S tiers, you have 3 of them here for that 30%. You have the Yellow Topo buffing your crit damage. Green Dispo definitely eating good off of those crit buff damage since he gets crit buffed in his own kit. And then you have the S tier Blue Jiren up there as well. As for the main team, Golden Frieza, Golden Tile, you already know what it is. MVP 17 for the support, and then you have the Purple Jiren right there, turn 1 stun. Also, another thing, Bergamo, not only is he HPZ ability buffer, but he has like the bubble shield mechanic, so he's mitigating 1 strike or blast arts. And then next we do have the Taunthan. This is the strike based team right here. So core unit is of course going to be the Taunthan because he's the name of the game, right? This team is named after him. Makes sense that he's going to be the core unit here. It wouldn't be a Taunthan team if you're not using Taunthan. It would just be a Sun Family or a Hybrids team, right? For your Z tier, you do have that blue Gohan. Again, if you don't have them, just slide that purple Gohan in there. And then for your S tier, it's going to be the Zenkai purple Gohan. This team actually dropped off so hard in terms of boost units. Look at the amount of, they got 4 S tiers and 1 Z tier replacement. That's crazy to me. As for the main team, you have God Goku turn 1 super attack. You had the Ultra Beast Gohan, Blue Beast Gohan, Goten for your heals, and then you have the Daima Goku down there just for extra slapstick damage. One thing that I will say about Goku that I didn't mention before this Daima Goku is that his strike cover change is actually health gated at 50% rather than the typical 30%, which you actually might get a lot of value out of this, especially when you're using him paired alongside the Taunt Gohan. So that could be helpful. So next we do have event exclusive. This is the only team where the Angel Golden Frieza, the green one, doesn't get a guaranteed slot, but he does. We did grant him the role of a core unit, but of a replacement core unit, right? So when it comes down to it, Pui Pui is going to be prioritized over the Green Frieza. It is what it is. So you have the 2 cores of the Pui Pui HPZ ability buffer, and then the Naval support / pseudo heals. And then for your boost units, Naval is included in that. And then you have the S tier Yellow Cell, great unit. Him being an S tier was a surprise to us all. So we're definitely going to take advantage of that with this season for event exclusive. And then you have the S tier Purple Blue, who's getting a stun off on turn 3, which you definitely are going to get value out of that as well. As for the main team, you have the heals from the free-to-play 18, debuffs from the Broly, debuffs from the Omega Shenron, or is that a Sin Shenron? I always mix them up. The Shenron, regardless. And then you have the support from the Super Saiyan 3 Goku as well. And then next we do have our beloved Regeneration. I promise you guys, we'll run Regeneration at least one time during the duration of this of the anniversary, bro. Because I know you guys are missing it. I'm missing it a little bit too. It's just such an easy team to run. Core unit is going to be Super Baby 2. There's no discussion about that. S tier is going to be that Demon King Piccolo. Also has debuffs free, which is nice. And then your Z tier is going to be the Yellow Piccolo for some extra heals, right? And you just want him to survive pretty much. You can easily take him off though and put in the Yellow Metal Cooler. I think the Yellow Metal Cooler actually is going to be the better option for you here. So to each their own. For the main team, you have the Ultimate Piccolo for support. He's buffing behind him specifically, so that's why he's at the top slot right there. You don't want him in like the bottom row where he's not going to be reaching anybody. And then you have Boo Tanks for a turn 1 super attack. You have the Legends Limited Piccolo for a guaranteed super attack on turn 3. You have Parasite Trunks for buffs against Saiyan / hybrids. And then you have the Corrupted Zamasu. That guy's getting a super attack guaranteed every fight essentially because he's getting 20% per hit. Alright, so next we do have androids. Androids also pretty much, honestly, I always compare androids to Regeneration because you kind of have like some of the same units that you have in Regeneration on this team. I would place them like on the same tier as well. No core units here though. The only thing, I mean, the closest thing you're getting to a core unit is going to be that yellow cell because he's a max HPZ ability buffer plus he's a healer. So he's both combined into just one unit, right? So that guy is pretty strong. You're going to see him on this team pretty consistently. For your S tier, you have that yellow cell. It's amazing that he's in this tier in the first place, so take advantage of it. And then you have that Z tier Android 14. Make sure he's friendship ranked up because I definitely do see him dying early on. You don't want him to die early on. Protect them as much as you can. And then for the main team, you have the Gammas, you have the tag unit there, you have the Super 17s going to absolutely abuse yellow units. You want him to go up against yellow units. You have the purple cell, really strong against Saiyan / hybrids. You have MVP 17, and then you have the Android 21 Zenkai, a stun on turn 2, right? With that cell, that being said, the purple cell can be replaced by the other LF cell because this one's strike based, but he can work on this the blast team, whereas the other cell is more so catered towards the blast. So at equal stars, I would say the other cell is better here. Obviously, if it's like for me, for example, my purple cell is at 3 stars compared to my Zenkai cell being at red star something. So of course I would probably take in the Zenkai version, right? And then same thing with Super 17 and Ultra Cell. If equal stars, Ultra Cell's coming in here instead of that Super 17. Fine, we're gonna add this in here just as a last minute segment, since I do have a little bit of time. I am going to add this ToP, or we're gonna go ahead and start off with the ToP Goku. Let's go ahead and see what he does. His status right here, maximum stats. He's at 2,445, which is huge. What about after 2,542 after transformation? Wow, that's pretty damn good. At friendship rank 1, doesn't have an ultimate, just the regular blue card. Excuse me. At the start of battle, you get 90% to damage inflicted, 20% cut, and 30% to key recovery. So he's just out-blitzing everyone. Blue Saiyans, Blue Sun family units specifically are just insane, are they not? Start of turn if there is a defeated ally. Okay, so let's just go ahead and ignore that. Well, don't ignore it if you're fighting this guy, right? 50% to special move gauge is kind of scary. He's going to be a high priority target if we do end up fighting him, which we're probably gonna. According to battle turn, first turn 20% to strike damage, 15% to special move damage inflicted before receiving an attack, restore health by 1% 3 times, 20% to special move damage, cannot be cancelled, activates once, and 5% to special move gauge. So strike based buffs right here, so he's probably only going to fit on the strike teams instead of the blast teams. Before receiving a strike art's health gated cover change by 50%, huge. Started the 3rd turn, so he's a late starter, transforms on turn 3, gets health back by 3%, 35% to damage inflicted, 15% to special engage charge rate. You cancel your abnormal conditions and you increase your evade actions by 1. So does he already have it up here? I don't even see it up here though. Does he get a regular one, or does he just gain a singular one? Oh, it's right here. So before receiving a strike or blast arts attack, you evade, and then when you transform, you activate the counter after evading and inflicts damage. Okay, so he gets 2 evades. That's so annoying. That's going to be awful to fight against, to be honest with you. Next, let's take a look at the Vegeta. So this guy's actually a ranged type right here. So let's take a look at the maximum stats. Q storage speed also really strong, 2,444. Post transformation, 2,541. Has just the blue card, no ultimate arts here, right? And then for the abilities, first one, 90% to damage inflicted, 20% to cut, and then plus 70 key. Damn, they gave Goku a percentage-based key recovery buff, but this guy only 70. They really do hate Vegeta units sometimes. Start of the turn, if there's a defeated, again, I don't really like this aspect for our own units, right? As if we're putting them on our own team, these are kind of pointless. 10% to damage inflicted for 2 turns, 5% to special move gauge, and only 5%, bro. That's kind of ass. I guess. After receiving an attack, multi-target restores own health by 2%, activates once. Inflicts all enemies with that you downgrade, minus 10% to damage inflicted for 2 turns, minus 10% to ki recovery for 2 turns. So he's debuffing at least. Before receiving a blast arts attack, health is 30% health gated. Bro, he actually got cucked. Start of the 3rd turn, 10% to own damage inflicted, 25% to own ki. There's the ki recovery. At the 3rd turn, though? 3rd turn? For real? 3rd turn? Okay. 30% to special move damage inflicted, and you inflict all enemy statue downgrade plus 10% to damage received. On the 3rd turn, you get 100% to follow up with a strike or a blast, so double attack, right? And end of turn, if there is a defeated enemy, you transform into Super Saiyan Evo. Restore your health by 3%, 30% to damage inflicted, 40% to special move gauge charge rate, and cancel your downgrade of normal. So at least he transforms earlier, right? Transforms earlier than Goku, but I still think Goku is going to be the better unit here. I don't know, let me know. Do you guys think I'm just being a hater? Do you guys think Vegeta deserves a spot on the roster? Next, we do have Cabba, so ToP stats, maximum stats, Ki restore speed 2342, after transformation 2388, not a big jump, has just a regular blue card. Wow, no ultimate on this guy. A lot of support right here though. 70% to damage inflicted, 15% cut, 20% to ki recovery. Start of the turn, allies in range, restore health by 1%, activates 2 times. Start of turn though. Why start a turn if that's only activating twice? Why is it start of turn? So you're gonna come in first turn, bro. First turn you're gonna come in, everyone's already at their max HP, and then they're just gonna get like, well, hello? I don't get it. 25% to damage inflicted and 5% to special move gauge. Well, that's actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Start of the 2nd turn, 20% to ki recovery for 1 turn for allies in range. Okay. Health gated strike cover change by 30%. End of turn 2, transform. So going into turn 3, restore health by 2%, 35% to damage inflicted, 25% to ki recovery, and you cancel your attribute downgrades in normal conditions. On the 3rd turn, on strike or blast arts hit, you 60% chance to follow up with the strike or blast arts. Start of the 4th turn, own health is 30%. 30% is low as hell, dude. 20% to own special move damage inflicted, 20% to own special move gauge, inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade minus 20%. Damn, bro, they have to get them hella low for that to proc. Again, like it's kind of hard to cheer for these units on our own team when they have stuff like that, right? And then last but not least, we have the Kale and Caulifla. So ToP stats max, we do have 2,343 on them. No transformation or anything like that. They only have a blue card, unfortunately. And then for the ability, 70% to damage inflicted, 15% to cut, 20% to special move gauge. Damn. Okay. Started battle. Or okay, I read that as start a turn at first. So I mean that's not bad. Started the 2nd turn, on health is 70% or below, you green card. Okay. Started the 4th turn, on health is 50% or below, you activate another green card. So what is it? So on green card activation, you restore health by 3%, 15% to damage inflicted, 20% to special. Okay, that's not bad. So getting a lot of green, like blue card generation here, right? For this ability, you have a strike cover change, health gated at 30%, 15% to damage inflicted, end of first, perform a tag switch element. End of 2nd turn, 15% to damage inflicted, tag switch elements. Before receiving a strike, blast, or special move arts attack against unfavorable elements, perform tag switch and switches elements. 20% to damage inflicted, 60% to ki recovery. I mean, I feel like tag units are going to be good regardless. It's kind of like hard to say like, oh, this tag unit is going to suck. I think the only thing that I wish that this tag unit did is that automatically tagged out when they're attacking an unfavorable element, instead of only doing it when they're receiving an attack from unfavorable element. You know what I mean? That's the only thing that I wish that they had. But that is going to wrap it up for this guide video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Let me know how your guys' summons went in the comment section down below. Did you guys pull greatness? Did you guys pull for MUI? Did you guys pull for Vegeta? Did you guys skip and wait for a later part because these units weren't enticing to you? Like, I want to know the juice, the details, all that good stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you guys enjoyed, make sure you guys leave a like and maybe even consider hitting that subscribe button. Later!